Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Smackdown Live. It is the second night of the draft. It is going to be perhaps an interesting night for all three brands, actually, is the point I was going to try and get across there. The first night itself was pretty interesting, but in some ways a little bit lackluster. You know, no huge names went going to other brands. Maybe that could change here tonight, and maybe us as ECW can get our names on the table. We are going to kick things off. I'm sorry, we're not going to kick things off. We're going to see the matches that we'll be looking at later on tonight. You see one of them there, the 6-man Battle Royal, as we saw it over on Monday Night Raw as well. SmackDown gained 2 good picks from that. Now I hope it's ECW's turn to perhaps gain a pick in general, especially from that one. Could be a very good one, but tonight's triple threat match will certainly be interesting, as we're going to find out who the not loserest loser is. That is right, it is the triple threat match involving the 3 men who lost their matches at WrestleMania. The former World Heavyweight Champion Jinder Mahal, the man unsuccessful in taking the title away from Seth Rollins and AJ Styles, and the man who fell from grace, whose dynasty, it seems, came to an end at WrestleMania in Bobby Fish. That is all to come here tonight, but we're going to kick things off with ECW against SmackDown Live, and what better choice to represent ECW than with the leader of the 4 Horsemen in Chris Jericho. I mean, obviously Seth Rollins is like the #1 pick, but Chris Jericho's also pretty good. Anyway, as we start things off here, I am the living legend Lars Crisco, of course, your host for the evening. I am not joined by the Raw General Manager Dara Ronaldo. He came down with an unfortunate case of testosterone. It got the best of us, and it got me as well, because as you can potentially hear from my lack thereof of enthusiasm, I am deeply caught in testosterone, aka I'm very sick, and I'm thankful it's draft week because it means that I don't have to take it super seriously, but does mean I'm on my own right now, which I don't like, I've got to be honest. Anyway, Jericho comes towards the ring here to start things off, and yeah, you know, it was a disappointing time for us, I got to be honest. We really sucked on Monday Night Raw. We lost some great picks as well. You know, we lost Bobby Roode. I think that, no, was that the only guy we lost? I think it was. No, sorry, we lost, yeah. We lost Bobby Roode and Sheamus to kind of, you know, I'm trying to think of the right word to use to define them, I guess, name talent, you know, one of those guys who, you know, they're kind of there when you think of ECW, they're kind of there at the cornerstone, but I'll get to that in a moment.
I ask you to stand up and put your hand on your heart and welcome the one and only true American hero. He is my husband, which means he is the only man that can have me. Welcome the Bulgarian brute, Rusev!
And yeah, he comes. Anyway, yes, we lost some staple names to the ECW brand in Sheamus and Bobby Roode, and we'll be looking to gain some here tonight. I mean, hoping that we can get off to a good start. You know, I know it's Rusev against Chris Jericho, but what Chris Jericho lacks in Hoss, that Rusev certainly has, he makes up for in his skill, his drive, his experience as well, and his leadership skills, of course, that he has within the 4 Horsemen. So, hoping that Jericho can get something here for us and just get us going, really, because that is what we need the most, is to get going in this draft. You know, SmackDown Live last night, they did good. Raw did good. We didn't get any picks last night on Raw, so I'm very disappointed with that. And instead, we need to do something here tonight. You know, we need to keep it's not like we need to keep these cogs rolling. We need to get them rolling in general. And this is hopefully the place to start it all in this matchup here on SmackDown Live. Expect that Chris Jericho has gained. We're still, strictly speaking, in enemy territory, so we've got to, I guess, tread lightly and hope that we can get a good pick here. But should be an interesting night. Like I said, of course, I'm not at 100%. I will admit that I'm not at peak performance. But I am still excited for my brand. I'm still excited for this draft week as a whole. You know, it only comes around once a year. And I know, you know, on Raw we kind of pushed it away and just treated them a bit, you know, treated it a bit like a laugh. But you know, in a way, even, you know, as important as draft week is for the rest of the year for our rosters, it's also a week for us to relax and a week for us to just calm down. You know, you got to think we are a week of non-stop, constant product being put out. We are, you know, every week it's, you know, building towards something. Every week something is always happening on our shows, and sometimes it's just nice to just step back and take a breath and just you know, just relax. And that's what we're doing here with draft week. We're relaxing, you know. Certainly had our relaxation period the week after WrestleMania as well, just getting away from, you know, getting away from thoughts of this universe as a whole, really. I mean, I can certainly say I spent that week not doing anything related to my brand. I did not think about what will be next for ECW, who Seth Rollins could face next, because why would I bother when the draft could take away potential future plans? You know, what if I wanted Seth Rollins to completely, what if I was telling Seth Rollins, oh, you know what, next I want you to completely decimate Bobby Roode. Oh, Bobby Roode's gone. I want you to, you know, I want to see, you know, what if the British Empire had plans to try and bring Sheamus in to their group? Oh, Sheamus is gone. Stuff like that, you know, there's no point in fretting and worrying and drawing up, you know, pay-per-view, whatever, you know, pay-per-view stuff when there's a possibility that none of it will happen. So, it's all good. We're all fine. We're all good in the planning. And, we're just going to watch on here as this one gets underway. Rusev has been showing off a lot of his power in this matchup thus far, but Jericho, you know, a man known for taking a beating in his matches, he can take a lot of what Rusev has to offer and keep on going here. Just hope that if Rusev gets the accolade in, that it won't be too much for Jericho to handle. And he can hang in there. Oh, this is looking a bit dangerous for... Oh! Jericho as he gets dumped into the mat there. Jericho, though, able to fight back, pushes him away. Nicely done. And now we see if Y2J can change things around a little bit for him here in this matchup. He'll need, like I said, you know, he needs to use his experience in order to beat Rusev. And maybe slapping him in the face is not the right way to go about it, though. That's just kind of more asking for trouble than anything else. But Jericho feeling it here. 2 double axe handles goes Jericho. Sent over the top rope. Jericho hangs on, though. Up on the apron. Rusev turn around. Double axe handle there. Jericho has the momentum in this match now. Can he keep it going and use it to his advantage here? Indeed he will try to, as Jericho looks for the walls of Jericho now on Rusev. Looking to try and make him tap out. Is this pick number 1 on its way to ECW? Not going to happen yet. Certainly, I don't think, in all fairness, I don't think you're going to be able to make Rusev tap out, but you could certainly try and wear down the large legs of the Bulgarian brute. Jericho continuing to work on the outside here. An outside that may work more into Rusev's favor. Large element of things to use, large element of objects that you can strike with no problem at all, and certainly demoralize your opponent, as well as, you know, change the pacing of this match. Rusev returns to the ring, though, at a count of 5 there with Jericho. Looking for the leaping kick from behind to the back of the head there, but Jericho with the wherewithal to counter his way out of it. There's the veteran-like instincts of Chris Jericho shining through. Jericho now. Big DDT. Very nicely done there. Working on that head as well for the code breaker whenever Jericho looks to strike with it. Before he goes to that well, though, he'll look to go for another Walls of Jericho on Rusev. Jericho really wants the submission victory here, and you already see Rusev starting to crawl his way to the ropes. I mean, if he just moved to his left, could have got to those ropes a little bit easier. But he's escaped the hold, and now he's clubbing away, and I think the referee has a bit of a spat with Lana going on right now. But anyway, this matchup still raging on, and now Lana getting involved with Jericho here. If Rusev can hurry up back to his feet, this could be a huge turning point in the matchup. Rusev's back up to his feet here and is able to, at least in some extent, stop Chris Jericho from having control. more than just in some extent, actually. I was about to say he's taking control, but there's the count. Jericho went to fly, though, and that double axe handle countered with a nasty punch in the gut. Rusev now with a chin lock applied here. That large knee of his dug in the back of Jericho, but he's back up to his feet. Jericho creates a bit of separation. Code breaker to Rusev. Lana, though, getting involved. And that may be the reason why Chris Jericho doesn't seal the victory here. He realizes it, doesn't go for the cover, but instead looks to seal the deal without a doubt. Code breaker. And with number 2 striking, the cover, the count, and the victory goes to Chris Jericho and to ECW. Thank you, Jericho. I knew you could do what we asked of you. I knew you could get us that win. Get us on the table for the draft, and indeed you have. Finally, ECW have a pick in this thing. We're finally on the board. It only took us a little over a show. It only took us until the second night of the draft, but we finally have a pick in. Will patience pay off for us? Will we get a nice pick to kick off this draft, or are we going to get, like, Kalisto? We'll find out in just a moment. It's a pick from SmackDown. It's got to be someone good. I'm hoping it's someone good. Hoping the wait and the ire that was last night has been worth what we're going to get. The pick is in. Let's see who it's going to be. Could be any of these guys. I'm excited. And the wait was so worth it for this man. Kyle O'Reilly, the man responsible for ending Bobby Fish's 390-day reign as WWE Champion, is ECW bound. And I know, because I heard the scoops when I got into the arena, they were excited for next week because Kyle O'Reilly was going to return to in-ring action from his injury. Nuh-uh, not anymore. O'Reilly is coming to ECW. We're on the board, and we are on the board with arguably the strongest pick of the draft thus far. A former WWE champion and a man at least one half responsible for one of the most hated, for one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of a bloodlust kind of food. One of the most iconic foods in this universe. With himself and Bobby Fish. O'Reilly is ECW bound. Oh, the possibilities there. Already just thinking about some matches. O'Reilly Naito, O'Reilly Aleister Black. And of course, if we want to think dream of dream for O'Reilly, O'Reilly Rollins. That would be incredible. There are so many great matches for Kyle O'Reilly to go through. There's even the likes of, speaking of Rollins, Minoru Suzuki. Two guys who share the same moveset. Just a bit of an age gap and a bit of a, what's what I'm looking for, ruthlessness gap. Kyle O'Reilly will push himself, but Minoru Suzuki will just do whatever the hell he wants to do. Anyway, enough gushing about Kyle O'Reilly. We'll be certainly seeing him in action next week. I am very glad about that. Anyway, moving on. Tag team action time here. It is ECW Tag Team Champions against WWE Tag Team Champions. It is D.I.Y. against War Machine. This one should be very good. War Machine looking to bounce back from last night's loss to the Bullet Club and in turn losing the Revival to Monday Night Raw. Now we will see what will change here. There are, strong tag teams from both sides that could go to one another's brand. I mean, I'm thinking on SmackDown right now, you got Future Shock, you got the Young Bucks, you've got MK Ultra, the Ascension, all still there for the taking. On ECW, of course, you have the Wyatt family. You have the Authors of Pain. There are a lot of variables on ECW that we could lose out on as well if we are to lose this matchup, and I don't, it's the fear of losing that to a great tag team division that SmackDown Live has that is the worrying aspect of it all, I must say. So this matchup gets underway anyway. Nasty headbutt there by Hansen, but Gargano's got to use his speed. You know, this is very much a David and Goliath. This is almost not so much David and Goliath in the way that it's copy-paste from WrestleMania. The large men of Hansen and Raymond Rowe, the Goliaths taking on the underdogs in D.I.Y. It worked at WrestleMania, and it worked here tonight for the ECW Tag Team Champions. Tag made now. Ciampa, the legal man, in against Hansen. These two men not afraid to sacrifice themselves so their team can get some success going, but Hansen, introducing Ciampa to his version of his risque offense. Whereas Ciampa will essentially just launch his body at his opponent, well, so too will Hansen, only he's got a lot more body to launch. And he can do a lot more damage in some ways than Tommaso Ciampa. That doesn't mean I'm insulting Ciampa's strikes. I mean, if he punched you in the face or hit you with a forearm, you would be out. Death Valley driver there by Hansen. Drives Ciampa into the mat, and he has to quickly tag out here. Back in comes Gargano now. Johnny Wrestling looking to try and bring Hansen off his feet here. Enziguri, and down to one knee goes Hansen, but again, he still just won't fall. He is refusing to fall down. Hansen taking all these blows and just maintaining a vertical stance here. Gargano in the turnbuckle. Oh, Uranagi slam. God damn, that caught him way off guard. And War Machine looked to have reclaimed the lead in this matchup. I say War Machine, it's pretty much been Hansen. One-man wrecking crew Hansen has been when it comes to taking care of D.I.Y. in the turnbuckle, though. There's the strength of Johnny Wrestling shining through with a lawn dart into the second turnbuckle. Hansen not concerned, though, not looking to try and tag in his partner, looking to try and get his partner to tag in here. And that may be the reason why Hansen's still showing great strength and great power as well. And again, Hansen look for an Irish whip. Johnny Wrestling with a counter, and Gargano sends Hansen face first there into that turnbuckle. This is looking concerning now. D.I.Y. are able to throw Hansen back in their turnbuckle again. Tag made here, and it's going to be the move that won them the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Will it win them a draft pick from the Smackdown Live Tag Team Division? No, it's a kick out. Despite Gargano's best efforts to deny Hansen the chance to make the save. Raymond Roode to make the save. Hansen still powered out at 2, and this one's alive. Hansen has not had the chance to tag out yet. And he is showing how brutal that has been. He is busted open here. D.I.Y. have been taking care of Hansen in their own way, and it's just the fight that Hansen possesses within him that has allowed him to kick out for this amount of time. Elbow drop there by Tommaso Ciampa now. Hansen is looking actually in quite a bit of trouble, but he crawls and he leaps. And with one hell of a leap, he's able to tag in Raymond Rowe, who with a lariat almost decapitated Tommaso Ciampa there. Raymond Rowe looking again in this matchup with a quick fire, a bit of offense, but Ciampa set to shut him down. These two guys in their own ways almost look similar to one another. Bald head, bushy beard. I mean, one is taller than the other, but, they both got the elbow pads. Both have the same attire, essentially. Just different colors, and then Raymond Rowe's got all the tattoos across his chest. They're almost alike. In that sense, but when it comes to being in the ring, this is not something that I could see the Psycho Killer managing to pull off with his strength. Look at that from Raymond Rowe. But Ciampa using his wits to get himself out of that one, just booted him in the head. Raymond Rowe thrown in the corner of D.I.Y. And a clothesline. Surprised that Ciampa didn't think about making a tag there. Well, maybe this is why. Ciampa going to try and look for a submission here. Bridging up with that Fujiwara armbar now. Tommaso Ciampa, though, not going to be able to get the submission on Raymond Rowe. He is far too fresh. Could Ciampa look for a tag maybe? Not right now, as a T-bone suplex nailed him on the money. What does Raymond Rowe have planned here? He has got Tommaso Ciampa in his grips. He's clinging on to... Oh, no. Raymond Rowe with a... Oh! Dangerous overhead belly to belly to the outside. Tommaso Ciampa crashing hard there into the floor. The padding, the very thin padding on the outside. But the Psycho Killer remains on his feet here and remains fighting. He's not going to let that stop him from continuing on his rampage here. Raymond Rowe, though, stopped him there with a counter. And face first into the ring pole now goes Tommaso Ciampa. D.I.Y have been sent on the back foot a little bit ever since Raymond Rowe got in the ring. And the more, the longer this goes on for us, Tommaso Ciampa reciprocates the favor there with that, with Raymond Rowe going headfirst into the ring pole. The longer this goes on in the ring, the more time it's biding for Hansen to recover on the outside for a big final surge. And make no mistake about it, Rowe can take a beating as well, as he's showing, and as he's really going to have to demonstrate here, because there's the strike again, the super kick, the knee, and the cover to win the pick for D.I.Y, and for ECW was almost secured. Hansen, unlike Raymond Rowe, able to not only survive but thrive in the ring right now. Tommaso Ciampa's in a very dangerous situation here, perched up on the shoulders and buckle bombed into the corner by Hansen. Ciampa is reeling, rolling well outside of the ring. In some rings, even in this ring, that would be considered coast to coast. Gargano's on his own right now. I believe there was a phase where he was like that at WrestleMania as well, but that's not going to stop Johnny Wrestling here. Locked him in there with what was like a crucifix on the ropes. And he keeps going now. Face first into that second turnbuckle goes Raymond Rowe. And Gargano immediately making sure to deny the opportunity for him to tag out. Hooks him in here, full Nelson. Face buster by Gargano. Pulling out all the stops. One here, two, and oh. D.I.Y both showing the fatigue that this match has developed within them. Great bit of athleticism by Johnny Gargano, but what a leap by Raymond Rowe. That would be considered coast to coast in some rings. The tag is made and Hansen can run wild now on Johnny Gargano, and indeed he did. Clattered him down with those 3 strikes there. Hansen may well be on his own, but that is not going to stop him from delivering his brutal punishment to Gargano. Oh my goodness gracious, what a moonsault by Hansen. It is a man that size pulling out a move you'd expect from D.I.Y. Oh no, oh no. Hansen's in position. Hansen's looking to strike, looking to take a draft pick away. Hansen with a power bomb to Gargano, who stretched his body to the fullest limit to make that bottom rope and to get the rope break. But how much more of a beating is he going to be able to withstand here? How much more can Gargano take? How much more can he take before he needs to make that tag? Into Tommaso Ciampa. The longer this goes on for, the more problems that both sides are in. Hansen just tagged Raymond Rowe back in. That could be a big problem for Johnny Gargano. He's stumbling a little bit, and here comes a full Nelson, planting him down there. Right in his ass. The cover. And it's enough. A tough pill to swallow, but it has happened. Hansen and Raymond Rowe are victorious. The WWE Tag Team Champions have defeated the ECW Tag Team Champions, and that means, more importantly, a pick for SmackDown Live from ECW's Tag Team Division. And as I stated, there are some teams that could go. The Wyatt family, the Authors of Pain, the Usos. There was one team I just forgot. You know, even the British Empire could go. Yeah, there are plenty of teams we could lose, and there are plenty of teams that I don't want to lose that I just referenced there. It's a shame that SmackDown Live get another pick to their already strong tag team division, and we're about to find out who it is. The pick is in. Who's making the jump to SmackDown Live? Which tag team is going to be moving to SmackDown? Oh, that is tough. Very tough. Perhaps the most sought after tag team in this draft that they wanted, and it is gone. The Usos are now SmackDown Live bound. Will the Uso Penitentiary be occurring on SmackDown Live? We are going to be finding out when the Usos prepare to make their debut on SmackDown Live. That is a tough team to lose. I've got to be honest. Not what I wanted to happen, but it is what I'm going to have to live with. The Usos. The SmackDown Live. Okay. Tough, but I'm going to have to make do with it. We move on to our next contest. It is the rematch from last night between the two women's champions. It is Rosemary of Raw heading into what can only be defined as enemy territory here on SmackDown Live. But this enemy territory may be something that can assist Rosemary, given what we saw last night on Raw, in her submitting to the last kicker, Becky Lynch, granting SmackDown Live the very first pick of this draft and bringing Paige to this brand. The big question to ask is that we've seen, you know, when Rosemary loses, a fire gets built up within her. This passion, this drive gets built up within her. You know, we've seen it on both occasions to Paige. She lost to Paige. She went away for months, probably through some kind of, I imagine, therapy with the Brood, and she came back a completely different and tormented woman who brutalized her way to the Raw Women's Championship. She lost to Paige before WrestleMania, and then in that hardcore matchup, she made sure and she made fit to make sure that Paige wouldn't stand at the end of it, and indeed she didn't. It is all about what Rosemary does following a loss. It is when Rosemary loses that she is at her most dangerous the second time around, and I think Becky Lynch is about to discover why that is the case. Lynch may have been very, it may have been, I don't want to say lucky, but very deserving, I guess, of that victory last night on Raw, but she is about to feel and learn what the true wrath of Rosemary can be, and we're going to see it here for us all to witness on SmackDown Live. Becky Lynch may have the home court advantage. Becky Lynch may have just seen the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions pick up a win, you know, in War Machine. And now it's time for her to try and fly this flag. Can she make it 2 for 2 here on the night for the champions? I mean, last night it was 1 for 1. Becky Lynch, and, you know, Becky Lynch won on enemy territory. But the Good Brothers beat War Machine. Could we see it maybe swapped around here? We'll find out as these two women get underway. It was very, talked about it last night with Dara Ronaldo, how almost awkward it was when Becky Lynch returned to Raw, the place that she was let go from for a very low price, essentially. It was almost as if she was traded away for pennies on the dollar, and how she has managed to shut up all the doubters by becoming SmackDown Live Women's Champion, and how she really silenced those that still remained by beating Rosemary last night. If she was to do 2 in a row over the Raw Women's Champion, I think it would be a very fair and very sustainable argument to say that Becky Lynch is the best Women's Champion in this universe. Rosemary is the most dangerous, without a doubt. But if Becky Lynch finds a way to beat Rosemary twice. Does that not show that even though Rosemary is more dangerous, the Becky Lynch is just simply better? Well, we'll see if that's the case, but, you know, I talked about that dangerous side of Rosemary that comes out after she loses a match. Becky Lynch may be on her way to finding out if that's the case here tonight or not. I don't think it matters for Rosemary if a draft pick is on the line or not. She may see it. She may only see it as just another victim to her cause. What matters for Rosemary, I think, most is getting the win. You know, for the Brood, getting the win for everyone and for everyone around. Really getting a win for Mordecai. She does not want to let her leader down, or else face the punishments that the Brood are more than willing to dish out. And look at this now. Pummeling away goes Rosemary there with the stomps into the chest. Becky Lynch trying to get away there. She is struggling in this one. Much different field being executed as opposed to last night. Becky Lynch was she was all guns blazing. She was able to fire out consistent offense. I think she got 3 disarmers in before Rosemary submitted. But here tonight it has been a different story. We're seeing Rosemary prove her worth. We are seeing what happens when you get the better of Rosemary and how she makes sure that it'll never happen again. There's the miss being spat in the eyes. And just like last night, she doesn't look to immediately follow up with the Red Wedding, but more punishment on the way for Becky Lynch. She knows she's not going to get the win here. She just wants to wear down Becky Lynch. It's all that matters in the mind of Rosemary as she just clubs her forearm there into the face time and time again. Becky Lynch still trying to fight back here, looking for one of her Beck's plexes and nails one. Lynch needs to get a fight back going here in stat. Can she get something going right now? Yes, she can. There's an exploder. That usually leads the way into this move. If Rosemary were to tap out twice to the disarmer, what would that say about Becky Lynch's ability? Not going to happen, though. I believe Rosemary was in the ropes. Couldn't really tell, as I was on the side of the hard camera, but certainly seemed to be the case, and she's right up to her feet, and she's got Becky Lynch right in her clutches. She hit 2 in a row last night, and she couldn't beat Becky Lynch. There's the Red Wedding, though, and there's the cover that follows into the count, and it only takes 1 tonight. And the point stands tall. You can secure the first victory over Rosemary all you want. But when she has a vengeance in her eyes, as it says on her stomach there as well, I believe, you know that you are going to struggle to get that second win. You know that you are not going to be granted that second win, and Rosemary just proved that to be the case here tonight. She beats Becky Lynch, and someone from the SmackDown Live Women's roster is going to Raw. It was Paige to SmackDown last night. Will it be someone of that caliber? Will it be Bayley, Sasha Banks, Nia Jax? Who could be making the jump? We are about to find out just who it'll be. Well, it may not be the AJ that people, the people had their eyes on in this draft, but it is an AJ nonetheless. Paige goes to SmackDown Live. AJ Lee makes her way to Monday Night Raw. I mean, she is a tough talent. She's a tough talent. She is a tough caliber of an opponent. But is she going to be on the level to take apart Rosemary? That is the key question. If Nia Jax got drafted, I would have felt a bit of concern maybe for Rosemary's title reign, but as I said earlier, I'm not too sure if Rosemary cares or not about who her competitor is. She may just see them all as just another feast for her hive mind. Whether or not that is the case, though, we find out as time goes on. SmackDown Live's women's division still looking pretty good. Raw's women's division, I mean, with that woman on the top, it's tough to say that, you know, it's tough to say that there is anyone who can stop it. There needs to be a lot of momentum brought up. There needs to be someone who was on the level of Paige to be able to stop Rosemary. And no offense to anyone in that Raw women's division, but considering how long Rosemary and Paige have dominated that division between them, coming to almost a year, I think those two have been dominating that division, it's tough to think that anyone else can take that title away right now. We may be in for a long reign of Rosemary as the Raw Women's Champion. AJ Lee going there or not. Anyway, we're moving on here to the 6-man Battle Royal. We saw it last night on Raw. We saw SmackDown Live pick up the win, pick up 2 draft picks. They took Sheamus and The Miz. And as you may have seen in that match graphic earlier on tonight, what we will witness is people who have made the jump representing their brand already. And we see it in the man who I just named, The Miz, and on Raw as well with Bobby Roode, who of course moved to Raw last night as well in the draft, which was a tough loss for ECW to take, but we're going to keep on moving on here. We've got an opportunity in front of us that we cannot afford to let go, and I want to see us succeed in our own way. Oh god. The testosterone is really getting to me. But, I mean, certainly when I see a horse in progress, like Apollo Crews, what a jacked man this guy is. 245 pounds and looking every single bit of it as well. Absolutely ripped to the core. And ready to show why he is a future talent of ECW and why he is in some ways why he is a almost perfect protege for the 4 horsemen to have taken on. Size, speed, power, he possesses it all. Anyway, we move on to the Raw representatives, and here's the first of the 2 men, Kassius Ohno, who of course has made his jump to Raw and has been well accepted by the Raw brand and the Raw general manager as well, who has given Ohno a great number of opportunities. Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, and that 8-man ladder match at WrestleMania immediately springing to my mind. And now here tonight as he looks for 2 draft picks. 2 hungry draft picks to take. I say 2, of course, because if you win, you get a draft pick regardless. But there is a bonus pick for whoever gets the most eliminations in that Battle Royal. Saw it last night. Cena got 2 for SmackDown because he won the Battle Royal and he had the most eliminations as well. Of course, if there is a tie for most eliminations, then neither side gets the pick. But you know, there is a chance that, say, out of the people we see in the ring right now, Ibushi wins this thing, but Ohno gets the most eliminations. That's a pick to SmackDown and a pick to Raw. Here comes this man on his SmackDown Live debut. It is The Miz. Sans Maurice for now, but that Battle Royal is on his mind, and if anything is on the mind of Miz, don't worry, it's not SmackDown Live, it's The Miz. And it's wanting to make himself successful and show what he is all about. See him heading towards the ring here. Confidence is cockiness as high as ever. New beginnings for The Miz. Struggle to make an impact under Dara Ronaldo's Monday Night Raw, and we'll see if a difference will strike here on SmackDown Live. Let's see what the, how does The Miz view his time on SmackDown Live? Does The Miz really care about where he is, so long as his face and his moneymaker is being shown in front of everyone to see? Yeah, that one's probably the case as well, let's be honest. So we've seen SmackDown Live representatives, Ibushi and The Miz. And here comes the second of ECW's representatives. Now, if you've kept up with ECW and this universe, you would know that this man isn't particularly in the good books of ECW right now, nor of any of his mates. Drew McIntyre, my apologies, of course, joined the British Empire 3 weeks ago now and showed where his loyalties lie. He showed that he is about the British Empire, he is about doing things on his time, not my time, not ECW's time, not Seth Rollins' time, the time of Drew McIntyre and the British Empire. Now, make no mistake about it, McIntyre and I are not and have not been at a, how can we say, working relationship for some time. Even as, even before this whole British Empire thing, picked up Drew McIntyre. However, a deal has got to be a deal, and at a time like this, when I want draft picks, I've got to go to those who I don't want to work with. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and on this occasion, Drew McIntyre has to be that case. Even though I did not want this to be the case, I said if McIntyre can win a draft pick for ECW here tonight, I promise there will be something waiting for him at the end of it all, provided he stays on ECW. By that, of course, I mean not him just getting up and leaving. I'm on about, of course, if he gets drafted away. But there will be something for McIntyre and the British Empire as a whole, should McIntyre win. Will that give him extra bonus to move on? We'll find out. But here comes the final man of this draft, of this Battle Royal, I believe. I am sure I am correct. We have seen 2 from each brand, and here comes the final man. It is bittersweet to see him. A former ECW star, now gone to Raw with his first match on Smackdown Live. Very interesting that is the case, but the stage has gone with Bobby Roode as well. It was a 2-for-1 pick, apparently. Bobby Roode and the stage were drafted to Monday Night Raw. It was tough to lose Roode, I've got to be honest. A staple name to ECW and a guy who I could always lean on to put on a really solid match. We saw it on more than one occasion. His matches with Aleister Black for the ECW Television Championship really helped elevate that title. But now it is about Bobby Roode and his career in Monday Night Raw. You already see him wearing the red, representing the brand as it seems. Where and what does Roode do on his first match for the Monday Night Raw brand? How is he going to incorporate himself? How does the glorious one get along with the Raw general manager? That's a question that'll be answered for us in due time. But as for right now, Bobby Roode heads towards the ring with this matchup on his focus, with a chance to get himself in the good books right away and get a pick for, or 2 potentially, for Monday Night Raw. They, of course, lost their Battle Royal on home turf. They want to win one away from home now, and they want to do it here on SmackDown Live. And I can certainly say that I don't want to see SmackDown Live winning another draft pick, because I don't want them taking another draft away from me. And they've already had plenty in this draft to begin with. I think that one, I think them taking the Usos may have been their 5th pick already. Let's have a look. Page, Battle Royal, which gave them 2. And then the Usos and Randy Orton. Yeah, that was their 5th pick. I've only had 1. Not my day, not my luck so far, it seems, but hopefully that can change around, even if it does mean relying on Drew McIntyre and eating my words should he be successful here tonight. But we need those picks, and I know, just looking at Drew McIntyre, he's a very tough man. But of course, all the focus right now is on Bobby Roode. As I said, the Raw superstar who left ECW and is making his debut for Raw on SmackDown Live. Be confusing how that one all works. Anyway, this one is well and truly underway here, and you see right from the get-go 2 SmackDown and Raws going at it, but we just had ECW on ECW, but there, make no mistake about it, just because Drew McIntyre is in this matchup and he is representing ECW, that doesn't mean he's not going to target ECW. Of course, in McIntyre's mind, his main representation right now is that of is that of the, what's what I'm looking for? Of the British Empire. Gotta hang in there if he can. On the ropes right now is Drew McIntyre, but he hangs in there looking good. Miz trying to be eliminated there by Roode. He's hanging in there. Ibushi and Cruz going at it right now as well. Neither of those two want to be eliminated this early on. They've got a strong point to prove. Especially Ibushi with all the momentum he's been picking up as of late. Great showings from Ibushi in King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, and at WrestleMania. How close he became to becoming Intercontinental Champion. There is still a bright future awaiting that man. Make no mistake about it. There were the it kicks by The Miz. And Bobby Roode taking a moment to roll underneath the ropes. And there's these men now. Quite a few of them down as well, to be fair. Miz and Ibushi fighting. Certainly Miz showing that he only has one thing on his mind, and that is trying to get eyes on him. The strength of Apollo Crews there. That was a great thing to witness. What a suplex by that man. That's why there's such a great future awaiting Apollo Crews. Whenever he gets that potential, it's just there waiting to be unlocked. Whenever he reaches that, he is going to be dangerous. I do believe so. Roode and Miz fighting on there. Ibushi and McIntyre now. Everything you see here is a brand against a brand. Smackdown and ECW in the background. And Ibushi just got eliminated first by McIntyre. Whoa. On home turf, Kota Ibushi surprisingly dumped out by Drew McIntyre. Very, very surprisingly indeed. And you see the disappointment in the expressions essentially from Ibushi as he walks to the back here. He is not pleased with himself for letting that one go. Well, that is one elimination in Drew McIntyre, so if you're keeping track for the bonus picks, he's looking good right now. Let's see what else is going on here. We got Cruz and Roode both underneath the ropes. Miz and Ohno fighting it out. Pretty sure that was a match a few weeks ago on Raw, and now they're going against each other on separate brands. But that's changed because McIntyre looking to try and get Ohno out of the ring there, but that was quickly and swiftly stopped by Ohno. Cruz in trouble now, and just how Ibushi went out, so too does Cruz. Down to 4 here. 1 from Smackdown, 1 from ECW, 2 from Raw. But what we showed on Raw was having a numbers advantage doesn't really mean that much. So I'm pretty sure it was 2 to ECW and 1 to Smackdown Live. At one point it may have been. And it was Smackdown Live who ended up winning it through John Cena. Miz there looked for a big time move. Got denied the opportunity. What a powerbomb by Kassius Ohno. He's going to the turnbuckle here. He might have been thinking. that discus big boot of his. McIntyre counters Ohno there. Bit weird that he went for that move on McIntyre, considering how close. Miz looked to be going out, and Ohno's going to pay for it here, up on the shoulders. And out you go with a powerbomb. Elimination by Drew McIntyre. 2 for him, and the only other man with an elimination is gone. Miz and Roode, the only thing left for them to do is to tie this one up. It'll be interesting if it comes down to McIntyre and Roode, given that McIntyre used Roode to turn on ECW and join the British Empire. If not for the brand thing, if not for the thought of the brand, then certainly the thought of what happened on that night on ECW is running through both men right now. Roode would love to return the favor by eliminating him. Oh, Miz ducks under that clothesline there, and as one from each brand now survives in this matchup. What could we see here? Miz looking to take full opportunity while McIntyre isn't looking. Miz dumps out Roode. Raw is gone in this one, and it's down to The Miz and Drew McIntyre. SmackDown Live and ECW here. If Miz gets the win here, it is only one pick to SmackDown Live because it'll be a tie for most eliminations. If McIntyre wins, it's 2 picks for ECW. And on top of all of that, of course, a chance for the British Empire awaiting them. But we see here these two men squaring up to one another. McIntyre using his strength fully to his advantage there over The Miz. And now just starting to club away. It's not even, it doesn't matter the guy, ECW or not. Drew McIntyre has no problems clubbing away at you and leaving a nice purple mark. Looking for the elimination now on The Miz. Looking to try and get the 2 picks, and he does it. McIntyre wins for ECW. It's 2 picks to the purple brand. And it is also an opportunity awaiting Future Shock. Future Shock? The British Empire. Yep. I am about to eat my words, so it seems, but it will be worth it in this moment as 2 more picks go the way of ECW. Thank God, because we needed these picks badly. SmackDown Live sitting on 5, Raw maybe on 4, maybe 3. And we are on 1. But now it is about to turn to 3. Finally about to get our name back out there in the draft. We're going to get 1 from each roster. McIntyre with 3 eliminations in this one to secure the win. Neville and Sabre Jr. will certainly be pleased about seeing their man get the win. Sadly, I know I am, even though I don't really support this guy, but nevertheless, the pick is in. Now we just wait to find out who it is. Which brand it's going to be from first as well. So many big names we can take here. Who's it going to be? The man with a plan. And if you look, the man with a plan has a man standing behind him as well, his bodyguard. It's a 2-for-1 pick. Brian Kendrick and Diesel are coming to ECW. What a thought that is. Now that is something that I can get behind. Not bad at all, given how much Kendrick has got his name out there on Monday Night Raw as of late. But the second pick is in. This one from SmackDown Live. We've already taken Kyle O'Reilly. And it gets even better. Oh, yes. What a choice this one is. Thank you oh so very much for this one. Sami Zayn is coming to ECW. Kyle O'Reilly and Sami Zayn, officially the talents of ECW. Get in there. A great night of picks for us here at ECW. And now, oh, for God's sake. I really hoped I had seen the last of this guy at WrestleMania. You know that? I really, honestly hoped that I would not be seeing this guy again after Mania. I thought when he was screaming for Marty Scurll to let go of the crossface chicken wing, that was it. That Jinder Mahal was done for. But the modern day Maharaja was over. But no. He has to show his face around here once more. He has to be here again. He has to take a spotlight that he doesn't even deserve. I mean, is it funny that he's in a match titled as the Losers Triple Threat? Yes, it very much so is. But the fact is, it's people who lost a world title match at WrestleMania. The very notion that Jinder Mahal can be considered in a world title match in itself is foul. In itself is disgusting. Not a position he deserves. I may not like either of these two men. I may not like AJ Styles, and I certainly hate Bobby Fish, but they have at least deserved their spot. Has Bobby Fish, has Jinder Mahal? No. And he showed it at WrestleMania. Not a single successful title defense under his belt. And yet here he is. After him and the Raw general manager had finished crying at WrestleMania, here they are. All that sucking up to each other, and for what? To watch Jinder Mahal submit at WrestleMania? To watch him give up? That sight was so worth it, but did it really have to happen for the World Heavyweight Championship? No. My point? Exactly. But nevertheless, we move on from Jinder Mahal and we focus on this man temporarily. AJ Styles, who took Seth Rollins to the absolute limit, and I will admit that. Forced Rollins to bring out everything that has made him the greatest of all time. Forced Rollins to show why he is the greatest of all time, and has beaten AJ Styles, thereby not allowing Styles another shot at the title so long as Rollins is champion, effectively meaning he's not getting another shot at that title. But the real talk of the town, I think, was this man. The dynasty that came to an end. The fall from the mountaintop finally happened. And what a sweet, sweet moment it was to witness it when Bobby Fish was defeated by Kazuchika Okada for the WWE Championship. When, after almost 2 years collectively of holding that WWE title, it all came to an end. On April 8, 2018, Bobby Fish kissed goodbye to his WWE Championship, and now looking at him here as he heads towards the ring without that title, as mind-bogglingly weird as it is to see that is the case, you see Fish almost as a husk of his former self. There is a lack of confidence in this man. There is something missing from Bobby Fish. And you can tell. You can see it in him that there is not the man who held the WWE Championship for 390 days. There is not the man who led over SmackDown Live with an iron fist. This is the Bobby Fish that clung to the coattails of the likes of Paul Heyman, that ran away from those fights when they were in front of him. This is the downfall of Bobby Fish that we are witnessing. I know it's so early to call it, and I know that I certainly wasn't calling it when he lost the title the first time round, or even the second time around. But this time it's different, because Fish, his whole time he has been champion, he has waited for that main event of WrestleMania, and he got it. And what happened? Everyone will remember the final moment of WrestleMania being Kazuchika Okada hitting the Rainmaker and becoming WWE Champion. They will not remember Bobby Fish and his destruction heading into it, his desire to take out everyone in front of him. They will only remember the Rainmaker ending Bobby Fish's reign. And that will eat apart Bobby Fish like nothing. That will tear apart Bobby Fish like nothing else possibly could. You know he wants that title back, but does he have it within him if he was to go right now in a straight rematch with Okada? Does he have it in him to beat him? That's the big question at the end of it all. Truth is, I don't know. No, it's not even truth is, I don't know. The truth is, no. I couldn't. It's like he hit 4 fish hooks at WrestleMania and he couldn't beat Kazuchika Okada. What makes him think he's going to do it when he's not at his confidence? Not when he's at his peak. Not when he's showing everyone why he is one of the best technical wrestlers of all time. How does he do it? The fact is, he just doesn't. Okada has taken his peak as the ace of SmackDown. He is now the pinnacle of SmackDown Live. Bobby Fish is on the decline. And he's got to prove that to be... He's got to prove me wrong. And he's got to prove SmackDown Live wrong. And he's got to prove everyone else who thinks that wrong. He's got to prove Kazuchika Okada wrong. With a win here tonight and a big draft pick for SmackDown Live once again in this triple threat. Jinder Mahal just went after both men there and nailed them both down. You know, I talk about that downfall for Fish and how great it was to see it, but the sight of Jinder Mahal screaming and begging and tapping out to Marty Skrull may have eclipsed that. If not for the thought that Jinder Mahal was finally no longer killing that World Heavyweight Championship. And the reaction from Doro Ronaldo. The crying that you could hear. Fighting to hold back tears. It was such a spectacular sight to see, and one as well to hear. To realize that all that he had hoped for came apart thanks to the villain. Couldn't ask for anything better at that moment. Has to be said, and I've already said my piece on AJ Styles, I may not like the guy, but after WrestleMania, I respect him. I've got to say it. We put him in a corner, and he showed us why he's called the Phenomenal One. He fought with his heart. It was not enough to beat the greatest of all time, but he fought with his heart, and he gave literally everything he could. And now he is fighting to show his honor for ECW just over a week later. He may not get the chance to be ECW champion forever, but he is fighting to show right now where his loyalty lies. Phenomenal forearm there to Jinder Mahal. But with Fish in the ring, couldn't hope to finish the matchup there. And Fish now, after that moonsault and Styles rolling outside of the ring, may look to take the cover and the count there, but a kick out, since Mahal had so long to recover, denies that from happening. Fish, though, going right after it. Brainbuster on the knee. Is he going to look to prove all my points about his confidence wrong? Bobby Fish going to look to try and show here that he is springing back. And he is as great as he ever has been, WWE Championship or not. Cover here on Mahal. Styles in to break it up, though. And now Styles tries covering Mahal, but Fish breaks that one up. Interesting to see the tactics here being incorporated. Fish is trying to seem like everything is fine, like everything is normal. But it doesn't seem to be the case, but he's going to look for the move. The move that even after 4 could not finish Okada. He looks for victory with it tonight. Fish hook. And down goes Mahal. Fish needs to move in quickly for the cover on Styles here for a pick for Smackdown Live. To try and prove everyone wrong. The cover here. Mahal is nowhere to be seen, and Styles kicks out. Think about that now. That is 5 fish hooks in a row where Bobby Fish has not secured a 3 count. How much does that eat away at this man? Incredible title reign or not, Bobby Fish is not showing that he is that man. Bobby Fish is almost, dare I say it, he's almost showing the levels of Jinder Mahal. And he has to keep fighting here. He's the only man standing in this matchup right now. But he has to keep going for victory, for honor. Pick for SmackDown Live or not, Bobby Fish doesn't care. He has to win this one. He has to shut everyone up. He has to shut me up. He has to show that he is the only one who should get that title match against Kazuchika Okada at the next SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view. Styles though looking to do a good job of denying that. Fish rolling outside of the ring, leaving Styles alone here with Jinder Mahal. I don't see what Styles' tactic was there and how he was going to look for that 3 count. Taking anyone from Raw would be nice. Big guys to take from there. Tyler Breeze, Adam Cole, Triple H, Sting, Cody Rhodes. Some great guys from that brand I would love to take. And certainly there are none that I would like to see head the way of Monday Night Raw. Certainly not through a Jinder Mahal victory of all things. Triangle lock applied there, but Jinder able to use his brute strength, essentially, to power out of it. It's probably the only thing that Jinder has going for him, that he is the strongest man in this matchup. Flattened Styles down there with that clothesline. And the modern-day Maharaja in the ring now with the 390-day WWE Champion. Collectively held that belt for around 21 months, I believe. Incredible feat that I don't think bar Seth Rollins will ever be beaten in this universe. It was outstanding. As this universe has expanded and grown to a far further reaching audience, one element has always remained true, essentially, at every moment that passed, and that was Bobby Fish as WWE Champion. This isn't a scary thought for just me and just SmackDown Live. It's a scary thought for the audience as well. You know, what do you think when you don't see Fish as WWE Champion? I mean, adulation comes to the mind to see something fresh, but it's weird. But in a way, it's a good weird. It's an unknown almost, given how long it has been, and I welcome it. This matchup's really continuing on here. All three losers have been trying. They've been fighting. Cover here on AJ Styles now by Jinder Mahal. Kick out here. Back in the ring comes Fish. Caught from behind there, and Jinder Mahal bringing Fish down with that full Nelson. Looked like he had a lot of power behind it as well. Cover on Fish after it. Jinder in for the count. You're looking for the victory. Oh my god. Oh my god. But no. No way. Did you? Right. Everyone. This is a panic situation. This is not a drill. Jinder Mahal just beat Bobby Fish. What just happened? The worst world champion of all time just beat the longest reigning champion of all time. Right, I don't know what to say, but the final pick of SmackDown Live is in. Raw is going to get a pick from SmackDown. And a big pick it is to close out the night. Roman Reigns is Raw bound following that. And that is, not only did Bobby Fish just lose, not only did he just lose to Jinder Mahal of all people, but he just lost the last member of the Dangerous Alliance, the only man who could back him up within a ring in a physical presence. Roman Reigns has gone to Raw. The Dangerous Alliance may well be no more. What a thought that is to close out this episode of SmackDown Live. Some great picks, but ECW gives us one more night of draft action, and you do not want to miss it.